Oh, I've got the wrong one there. Not Licensing and Gambling Acts Committee, beg your pardon. Got too many briefing notes. And on the 13th of September 2021, it is just gone 2 o'clock. This meeting will be recorded and it has already started, and it will be conducted via the Teams protocol, which we are all well aware of at the moment. So please switch your phones to silent, keep your microphones on silent unless I call on you to speak. Please use the chat only to recognise any IT problems, or if you want to contact Democratic Services, not for any part of the debate. We'll do that orally. So there we are, microphone. And if you wish to make a comment or question, if you could please raise your electronic hand. And if you're having difficulty, do that. That's okay in the chat as well. And I'll ask the Democratic Service Officer to keep an eye out for anybody who's having any difficulties. If you could mention the page number when you ask a question or make a comment, it will help everybody to keep up to date with where you are. And now I'll go on to the roll call. So I'm Councillor Suzanne Patterson, Chair of the committee. So Nicola, will you please take the roll call for the rest of the committee? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We have Councillor Carolyn Edwards.
Present.
Thank you, Councillor. Councillor Mark Prothero.
Present, thanks, Chair.
Councillor Nicola Davis.
Present.
Thank you. Councillor Chris James.
Present, Nicola.
Thank you. Councillor Regina Nizan.
Yeah, present, Nicola.
Thank you. Councillor Chris Jones.
Present.
Councillor Martin Peters.
Present.
Councillor Jane Jones.
Present, Nicola.
Thank you. Councillor Joe Hale.
Present, Nicola.
Councillor John Miller.
No.
No, okay, thank you. And we've had apologies from Councillor Whitelock, Councillor Arthur Davis, Councillor Sharon Freegard and Councillor Hugh Jones. And then we have officers Neil Chappell.
Present.
Thank you. And Gavin White.
Present, Nicola.
Thank you. Is there anybody I've missed from the roll call? No, thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you very much for that. Before I go any further, I would just like to wish Councillor Whitelock a speedy recovery from myself, and I hope from the members of the committee as well. He's contracted COVID, so let's hope that his symptoms aren't too severe and he can get through that very quickly. Seems to be quite a lot of it around at the moment. Okay then. The declarations of interest are next. Can please members indicate either by raising your electronic hand or in the chat if you have any declarations to announce. I don't see any, Nicola, do you?
No, nothing, Chair.
Okay, that's great. We'll move on then to minutes of the previous meetings. Now, unfortunately, we have quite a few here because this committee doesn't meet, as you say, that often. So we have subcommittee meetings to ratify as well as previous meetings of this committee. So these are pages 3 to 8, and the first ones are the minutes of the Licensing and Gambling Acts Committee. The first one goes back to the 25th of August 2020. Could I have a proposer and a seconder that they are correct? Was anybody here today that?
I think not, Chair.
Yes, Jane. Yeah, and I can second. So if nobody else is present, so we'll do that one. Okay. The 23rd of December 2020. A proposer.
I propose, Chair.
Thank you, Jane, and I'll second. And then the 17th of March 2021. Anybody? Who was it?
I propose.
Lovely, Jane, and I'll second. So we've done the meetings of the Gambling Acts Committee. I'll move on now to Licensing and Gambling Acts Subcommittee. We have quite a few of these to do as well. So we've got the 9th of March 2020. Now, this is more difficult because only one additional member as well as me and the vice normally comes. So Nicola, who was present on the 9th?
Right, I'm just looking at the minutes. The 9th of March,
Mhm.
sorry, Chair, is Councillor Nicola Davis.
Oh, Nicola, you could do that for me if you would.
Propose.
you-
Want me to propose it?
Yes, please. Thank you.
I propose, Chair.
I'll second that then. Okay. The 16th of July 2020.
We had Councillor Edwards.
Councillor Edwards, would you oblige?
Yes, Chair.
Thank you very much. I'll second. The 21st of September 2020.
Councillor Prothero.
I'll move,
Mark,
Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'll second. The 7th of December 2020.
Councillor Prothero.
I move again, Chair.
And I'll second. The 18th of January.
Nicola Davis.
I move, Chair.
Thank you, Nicola, and I'll second. 29th of March 2021.
Councillor Edwards.
Move, Chair.
And I'll second. Thank you, Caroline. 24th of May 2021.
Councillor Mason.
I move, Chair.
Lovely, thank you, and I'll second. 21st of June 2021.
Councillor Hale.
You're on mute, Councillor.
I move, Chair.
Lovely, thank you very much again, and I'll second. 12th of July 2021.
Councillor Jane Jones.
I move, Chair.
Lovely, Jane, thank you. And the last one, 16th of August 2021.
Councillor Mason.
Yeah, I move, Chair.
Excellent. Thanks very much, everybody, for that. So we've done the minutes. So item 5 is the Gambling Act policy. That is the decision item this afternoon. So we're here to recommend possible, if anybody, member of the committee wants to recommend any amendments to that. Sorry, I've got lights going off everywhere. So, Mr. Chappell, if you wouldn't mind taking the committee through this report.
Yes, thank you, Chair. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Agenda item 5 is the report for the review of the gambling policy. Members will be aware that in accordance with the Gambling Act 2005, the licensing authority is required to adopt a gambling policy. This policy must then be reviewed at least every 3 years. The existing gambling policy was adopted at full council on the 19th of December 2018. So in order to comply with the statutory timescales, it's now necessary to begin the process of adopting a revised policy, which will then become effective in January 2022. Members will note that a copy of the revised draft gambling policy is attached to Appendix 1. There are several amendments being made to the report. These are shown in bold italics, but members will note that the majority of the policy remains unchanged. The changes that we have made, these are minor, and a brief summary of the changes is included in the report at paragraphs 10 to 13. Before a new policy can be adopted, however, a mandatory consultation exercise must be carried out. This is done with the statutory consultees and interested parties. It is proposed that permission to begin the consultation exercise be sought from full council at their meeting of the 29th of September. So the ask today of members is that they consider this policy and determine whether any amendments are required to be made prior to its submission to full council and the commencement of the consultation exercise. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chappell. All right then, so our decision today is whether or not to recommend any amendments, but if you have any questions or if you just want to make any comments around the proposed policy, now's your chance. So any members of the committee wish to ask a question or make a comment? No, I don't think this is a lack of interest. This is probably just agreement with what's before members, Neil. I think it's quite straightforward. We haven't changed very much, tinkered a little, but I think this just shows that committee are broadly still in favour of the policy as it stands, or notwithstanding the small changes that have been highlighted in the report. With that said, then, if there's nothing to ask or comment on, I'll take you to page 49 of the report, where it recommends that members consider whether any amendments are required to the revised draft gambling policy, and that members approve the draft revised gambling policy for submission to council, for council to give permission for it to go to consultation. So anybody wishing to make any amendments now formally? Nope. Okay, so I will ask then for a proposer that we accept the revised draft gambling policy as it is, for it to go to full council. Could I have somebody to propose?
I move, Chair.
Thank you, Jane. Seconder?
I second, Chair.
Thank you, Mark. Okay. Anybody who wishes to object to that, please state now. Anybody wishing to abstain? I don't see any. Jane, Nicola, sorry, are you seeing any hands that I'm not seeing?
No, nobody's indicating, Chair.
Okay, then that is passed then to go to council at the 29th, I believe. Yeah, 29th of November. Okay. Well, I don't have any further business for the Licensing and Gambling Acts Committee, but there is a subcommittee, and I believe Nicola has contacted Joe and Caroline, who kindly agreed to sit on that. So anybody else, thank you very much for your attendance, and we'll sign out of this meeting and we'll sign back into the